Hello, for those of you who chose the Lover album. And this is going to be a reading. I have all of the songs in this cup here. Let me know in the comments what your favorite song from is it Lover or Lovers? But let me know what your favorite song is from that album. But we're just going to get into it. If you're new, I'm going to pick 3 songs from this little cup here, and then I'm going to get some tarot clarity using this deck. This is the Light Seer Tarot. We're going to charge it with some intention, so take a deep breath and release any tension lingering in your body. Now is the time to set your intention. So let's just get into it. You can listen to all 3 songs, or you can pick and choose. We got 1, 2, 3. Okay. So the first one we have is Cruel Summer. We have Paper Rings. I Think He Knows. I love all of these. Okay. So, for Cruel Summer, you may have had summer may have been a difficult season. Maybe you were in between romances, or relationship hopping, or someone put you through emotional torture. Not torture, but they were playing mind games with you is what I'm picking up. I didn't mean to nudge the camera. All right. Can I get a card for Cruel Summer? Can I get a card for Cruel Summer? So I want you to think about summer of 2022, and then also reflect on what you want to accomplish or what you want to experience during summer 2023. We have Temperance. Temperance is a balance, what is it? It's balance of 2 opposites. In this particular card, we have the sun and the moon highlighted. On the bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Swords in reverse. And I think it's very interesting because we have Temperance here, which is Jupiter energy, and this specifically is Jupiter in Gemini. So some of you might be Libra risings, or you might have Jupiter in your 3rd house. I think in general, this card is talking about expansion, and it highlights what area you want to expand upon or what area you want to transform. Temperance is all about our generosity and what it is that we're willing to give to a situation in order to receive, because we do have this balance of giving and receiving. Just like this 8 of Swords in reverse, if we're telling ourselves that we are pieces of poop and we can't do anything, and we're really getting on ourselves about the way that we look or the way that we present ourselves to the world, it's not going to do us any favors, right? And then we have the 10 of Cups on the bottom of the deck, followed by the sun. And the sun is brightness. The sun is light energy. This is wholesome, genuine love, unconditionally. Maybe you're having a troubling time accepting something family related. There might be news that you're receiving that's hard to hear, hard to swallow. Some of you might be planning for an upcoming trip with this Temperance card here. Others of you might need a little bit more balance with regards to the time that you spend alone and what you do while you're alone versus how you spend your time with others and what you do then. For example, if screen time wasn't an option, what would you be doing both in solitude and with others? Like, what genuinely brings you joy? What sets the good vibe? We have the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. Cleaning up your space, making your space and your surroundings beautiful. Recycling. I don't know why I'm seeing that, but maybe you have things that have accumulated either to give to Goodwill or to give to charity, like that needs to be taken out. Maybe expansion in your finances. Maybe you didn't get to do everything you wanted to on account of not having enough in the bank. And so setting up a savings goal. And the more that you give to a situation, the more that you receive from it. Let's clarify the Temperance energy with my clarifying deck. Some of you might be experiencing your Jupiter return around the summertime. And that is the age of like 24? So you might be experiencing blessings. We have favorable moon, lucky number 3. Pertains to home affairs based on the card over or on, the card over or under. Whoa, we have the 8 of Swords here again. Do not waste time on an unimportant issue. When in doubt, do nothing. When we make decisions from a place of doubt and uncertainty, we typically are not listening to our intuition. So if you're feeling rushed to do something, maybe take a time out. We do also have at the bottom, we have favorable Mars, lucky number 6. Your wish comes true. You will hear some good news. So maybe around the summertime, maybe some of you might even be moving and expanding your house. So you will be receiving good news there. And then we do have favorable Jupiter, lucky number 1. Pertains to future plans or moves, domestic or romantic affairs. Jupiter is also, again, expansion. So some of you might be announcing a pregnancy. Now that is not set in stone. And if you are not manifesting a pregnancy, I don't want you to think that you're going to be with child all of a sudden. But it's if you are planning it and if you are consciously attracting it. And obviously practicing safe sex. But okay, so let's get a card for paper rings. And paper rings is like... paper rings is very simplistic, and it focuses on the love that you have for each other rather than on the things that you have. We have the Tower, another major arcana. So maybe someone asks you unexpectedly, like maybe you receive some sort of proposal. Otherwise, this could be a sudden change in your romantic life that you were unexpecting. Receiving insights from a situation, maybe that you haven't, like, this is sort of like the straw that hit the camel's back in terms of needing to communicate about certain things, okay? We had a lot of emphasis on home. So, for example, maybe some of you are doing more chores. What the heck was that? More chores around the house than your partner. And over time, maybe it starts to get to you. Maybe you're like, I didn't sign up for this. We're not, like, married or not, you both are still required to contribute. And so maybe this is you advocating for yourself. We also have this 9 of Swords in reverse here. So dreams might be a big thing for some of you. What about I think he knows? I think he knows. I think he knows. This is like sudden, fast changes. I think he knows. I think he knows. Eight of Wands. I just realized we also have a lot of Mars and Mercury energy, but we also have fire sign vibes. So some of you could have an air placement, but others of you could also have a fire placement. And I'm not discounting water or earth. I'm just saying that there's a lot of passion in this connection. And also maybe some of this passion has dwindled over time. And so this paper rings and this Mars energy with the Tower is calling you to bring it back, especially with the Eight of Wands. This also might be suggesting for you to take a trip over the summer with your partner if that applies to you. Let's clarify the Tower, and then we'll clarify the Eight of Wands. Okay, so this Tower card, we have the Queen of Wands, a blonde woman possessing a magnetic personality, success in many undertakings. This could be a sudden cash flow or a sudden raise or promotion that escalates your ability to manifest what it is that you want with ease. The Queen of Wands has been through it, and this is approaching life with this no BS attitude, like the 0 F's given vibe. And she's very powerful in her stature. She's very powerful when it comes to getting shit done. So ripping off the Band-Aid is something that you just got to do it. Don't let fear talk you out of it. We also have the Ace of Swords, so a revelation of truth. A powerful card materially helps the cards surrounding it. When you are standing in your truth, you are more likely to come from a place of authentic power. And you may find that others have a very different response when you are, for example, asserting your boundaries. Other people might not necessarily understand and might react negatively. But as long as you're not being mean about it, you are protecting your energy, and anybody's attempts to violate that attempts may be going through something. So just discount what is not yours and protect yourself from that negative energy. I would say like carry black obsidian or some tourmaline with you. I have a piece right here. Or even wear like a piece of clear quartz on your neck. We also have unfavorable Jupiter, lucky number 7, guard against illness, indicates disappointment. And then we have favorable Neptune, lucky number 6, indicates an unexpected pleasant surprise, favors new friendships and old friends. So this could also be a reunion between you and a friend that you've had for a very long time, and now you are able to connect in a way that maybe you haven't been able to before. All right, let's look at the Eight of Wands. The Tower can also talk about overnight success, and especially if you've been putting effort into, for example, social media, maybe you'll find success as a result of these long-standing efforts. Can you clarify the Eight of Wands, please? Interesting. We have the Nine of Wands in reverse, a delay in plans, possible illness, adversity, and obstacles. So, hold on. And then we had Scorpio, lucky number 9. Denotes considerable money or receiving a costly gift. And on the back, we have the Two of Cups. A new romance or friendship, cooperation, and partnership affairs. I'm sensing a lot of ease in communication. Maybe some of you are learning how to communicate more efficiently with your partner. Feeling more comfortable to be open about things that maybe you're uncertain of, or a desire to learn about something on a deeper level. So some of you might even be applying for school, like higher education, to further your career. I would say that this delay, if it happened, it happened for a reason. This possible illness doesn't necessarily have to be yours. It can have to also do with a parent or a relative. And when you're going through higher education in the midst of life crisis, like it's a lot harder to keep up because master's and PhD programs go a lot faster than a typical undergrad. So see the rationale in all of this and understand that if it's meant to happen, the universe will make it so. I'm not saying that it's not going to be hard work or it's not going to require a certain effort, but you might be experiencing a change in direction, with regards to what you're passionate about. And this Two of Cups here, it's like meeting in the middle. Maybe your ego sent you on a wild goose chase because you were simply afraid of putting yourself out there in that professional way. The Eight of Wands and Jupiter can also talk about publishing. With the Tower card here, it's Mars energy. And so you might be publishing something that maybe nobody else has really done in your field. Maybe you're self-publishing a novel, or maybe you've had a conception for a series for a while now, and like you are being encouraged to put those words onto paper. I'm going to get a deck that I haven't drawn from in a while. So we're going to get some oracle to clarify. Can you clarify cruel summer, please? Can you clarify cruel summer? This summer, you might be experiencing time apart from your lover, from your person. And so this is to make the most of the situation. Interesting. Okay. We have appreciation. So no matter the circumstances, because as you can see around her, the garden is not vivacious and lush, right? It's very much dead. Except for the flower that she's holding, and we can see these flowers sort of blossoming with this light that is shining in the foreground. But holding on to the detail and appreciating what it is that you do have is going to help you get through this period of this slower period, and admiring beauty for what it truly is, not trying to make unnecessary changes. This is also an invitation, I think, to get out in nature and to really just clear your head in a different way. Appreciate the work of your mind and your ability to understand things on a level that maybe other people cannot or don't have that innate ability to do so. Appreciate the journey so far. Can you clarify the Tower? We have Magician and the Mirror. How we perceive ourselves is definitely not the same way as how others see us. The Magician implies illusion, and magicians are masters of illusion. However, the mirror is not. It shows you how something truly appears, unless you're talking about the mirror from Harry Potter. That is creating the image of what it is that you want to see in yourself. And sometimes with this Tower, when something doesn't work out, it can feel like the world is crumbling down around us, and there's really no semblance of certainty. What are you putting more weight on? Are you putting more emphasis on the way others see you or on the way you see yourself? And on the back of the deck, we do have anxiety. So not feeling trapped by your self-image, by how you are telling yourself reality. Like, it's kind of like telephone, how sometimes it can get all reality becomes discombobulated. It's a version of somebody else's account of things. It's not the actual truth. So remain grounded and keep that balance, just like with this Temperance card, of not only giving and receiving to others, but also giving yourself a little bit more grace for the times when you do fall down. And I'm curious to see what the book has to say about that one. Let me see, 53. I think it's the last card in the deck. It is. Knowing and using your true power. This card upright represents the culmination of your personal and spiritual power at this time. In the Magician's left hand is the flame of passion and action. In his right hand is a vortex of water and the light of reflection. This highly beneficial card is telling you that you are the magician, and within your grasp are the amazing forces of earth and spirit. The water is the energy of yin, the power of spirit and clarity of thought. The flame is the energy of yang, bringing direction and creativity. Together they give you the magnificent magic of transformation. The mirror stands beside the magician, reflecting the outer world's response to your choices to use or dismiss the true power that you have. Its silver reflection reveals the future in a mist on the horizon, ready to be magically formed. When you receive the magician upright, you are put on notice that an important and powerful time is at hand. You are the alchemist of your life, and just as an alchemist turns base metals into gold, you are now able to transform your difficulties into great blessings. This is true in every area of your life. Claim your power and embrace your intentions in your heart and in daily life. Direct your destiny, and the mists of the future will clear into brilliant reality. Okay, let's see what this oracle deck has to say regarding the Eight of Wands. The thinking woman. You are putting a lot of thought into what it is that you are consuming. As you can see, we have this stairwell in the background, I'm sorry. And then we have this butterfly that is flying, a symbol of transformation. We have flowers here that represent growth. And we also have books that represent knowledge, or the source of knowledge. And with this butterfly, a butterfly knows when it's time to, when a butterfly is in its beginning stages, it's obviously a caterpillar, and a caterpillar knows when it's time to go into its cocoon, when they've eaten enough to be able to sustain that period within metamorphosis. You might be transforming the way that you see the world based on the information that you're taking in, both like in the tangible aspect of reading books and, researching things of interest, but also observing interactions between other people. And I think this is an invitation for you from your spirit guides to be a little less, look at your thoughts with less judgment and just observe what they're saying to you, what your thoughts are saying, and maybe questioning the source of those thoughts, because your thoughts carry you forward. And again, I think we've talked about this. Negative thoughts do not help a situation. they only bring you further down. And so maybe you're learning how to regulate your nervous system in times when things get emotionally turbulent. You might also have a story to share, wisdom to impart through your experiences to a younger audience. And yes, it might be scary to be open and to be vulnerable, but think of the power that your story would have to shape and change and inspire other people. So that is something that I'm seeing for you. And this doesn't have to be a memoir. This can be a collection of poetry. This can be a collection of photos or artwork. This is whatever resonates with you the most. And maybe some of you even have to leave a certain environment in order to alleviate distractions so that you can focus on you and focusing on expanding this knowledge, whether it be through formal higher education or just reading books and learning more through, videos and audio, like using a lot of different mediums in order to absorb the most knowledge that you can. This is putting more forethought into how you approach certain conversations. Okay, I'm going to get one more card, and then I'm going to get one card from this oracle deck, and then we'll end with an affirmation, or actually maybe some charms. I don't know. We'll see. I also recognize too, we have appreciation, and this implies remaining in the present moment as much as possible. The thinking woman is all about how we perceive the past and how we put a lot of weight into the future. We have the Holy Grail. Stop the endless searching, inner quest. What inner quest is life taking you on? All of these animals around her could be important for you. So we have a hawk, which signals perception. We also have a deer, which symbolizes self-compassion and grace for ourselves within our journey. We also have at the bottom of the deck the breathing rose. Heart healing, emotions, connection, time eases. So I would say time is relative, okay? Keep time maybe in the back burner, but don't use it as a way to gauge your self-worth. I know a lot of us can talk about something in therapy and understand, okay, I need to set workplace boundaries. And then in the moment when we fail to do so, we put a lot of effort into talking ourselves down and telling ourselves, well, why didn't you get this? This is easy, and life is a learning curve. Growth, true long-term transformational growth takes time. So recognizing where you're coming from and meeting yourself halfway so as not to have such heavy expectations. Don't be so hard on yourself, pile one. You have this. Okay, so I'm going to take some Secret Garden cards. But before then, I think I'm going to go in with some charms just for fun. Okay. We have this amulet that I got from a really good friend of mine. in undergrad, and this is a portion from Harry Potter. So maybe Harry Potter, oh my gosh, we had the mirror that kind of reminded me of Harry Potter. But Harry Potter, like Harry himself, wouldn't be able to get to where he wouldn't have been able to overcome his limiting beliefs if it wasn't for the people around him. If it wasn't for Hagrid, if it wasn't for Hermione and Ron, if it wasn't for his professors who believed in him so dearly at Hogwarts. He put himself down a lot. And so this is to say, don't be afraid to open up to people who genuinely have your back. Okay? We have the wolf spirit coming through. So the wolf is someone who has this very unapologetic energy when it comes to expressing themselves. You might feel pressure to veer off track from your family. Maybe your family comes from a line of doctors. And as much as you want to be a doctor too, maybe you're going in a different route. Maybe you're going for a PhD in history because that's what you're passionate about. Your family line does not determine your path or your future, okay? We also have here this little pendant that talks about my fairy godmother. And we also have, grant me my wishes, dear fairy godmother. There might be a, it says bibbidi bobbidi boo. You might have a fairy godmother whom you deem that you might come to her with anything and she might know exactly what to say. This also might be an encouragement for you to make a wish and see if your spirit guides come through. We also have the dolphin here. So dolphins are also very loyal to their families, and they remain in their pods for a very, very long time. And so you could be feeling a little bit disconnected maybe with your family right now. And so spending time with a family that genuinely lifts you up is going to maybe help you see your life in with a more loving perspective. We also have the peacock here. So peacocks might be of significance to you. We have this flower wall. Sometimes before we can plant the flower, we need to weed out the unnecessary garbage around the garden. So before you set intentions, make sure you clear this negative energy that might be lingering. Okay? And maybe write to a guide of yours. If you don't know who your guide is, you can also do a spiritual guide meditation. And then we also have Ariel from The Little Mermaid. And Ariel wanted to do something different. She really wanted to go and explore the humans, and her dad was like, no, humans are horrible creatures. Okay, how dare you even think that? And so maybe your curiosity was shut down as a child, and you were always told no, not to do something, or don't put your nose where you don't belong. Curiosity is a gift that should be cultivated every step of the way. So dabble in your curiosities. Indulge in your curiosities. If you want to learn more about something, go for it. As long as it's well-intentioned and it's not anything harmful, you have the power to change your reality for the better. Peacocks make me think of Leo energy and the solar plexus chakra. So perhaps the solar plexus and the sacral chakras are two energy wheels that you can work towards. We have present, look at that. Journey into the garden to escape the two eternities, the past and the future. What are you doing now that is contributing to your goals, that is contributing to your growth? Don't think about, like, yes, you can have a future vision. You can have a vision board, okay? But if you're just hanging that up and expecting things to just come to you without putting any of the work into the present, you're not going to get anywhere. Like, for example, I'm looking at my vision board right now, and I have crow pose on there. I can manifest crow pose, but what does that mean? It's a series of events that is going to take time, right? But it's going to be a journey of strength, right? Of building that up and balance. Balancing time on the mat versus balancing time off the mat. And if, sometimes we're not feeling up to it. And there are days when we need to push ourselves and we need to show up on the mat, and other days it's okay to take a break, But it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen by just looking at it. Yes, that might be the first step, setting a vision. But if you're not putting any present energy into your desires, you can't necessarily expect those desires to take off and grow. We have wildflower. Live an uncontrolled life, free to grow anywhere and bound by nothing. This is giving me like van lifestyle vibes. So some of you maybe have this desire to to travel in a van for the summer, or like rent a tiny house and see how that goes. But again, go where the wind takes you. Like, don't be afraid to do something because you only live once. We have potential. The littlest key can open the heaviest door. I love this. You have the potential to manifest and make anything happen as long as you put effort into it. So even if it doesn't feel like it, okay, that's your ego talking. Your ego, in my eyes, is like the toddler that wants to keep you safe. And sometimes you have to challenge that. Opportunity. There's no use looking for luck. It arrives at unexpected times. And we have share. The busy bee should still make time for each flower. I'm like, sharing is caring. Teamwork makes the dream work. Don't be afraid to share your opinions. Don't be afraid to share your heart space with other people, but just keep in mind that others might respond differently depending on who you're talking to. So just be sure that you're sharing your dreams and your goals with the people who genuinely have your back. And on the bottom of the deck, we have bloom. And attract more than butterflies. I am seeing a lot of success coming for you. For those of you who chose the Lover album, maybe listening to the Lover album might cue up some inspiration to get to work on that project. I know there's so many songs on there, and I really, really like the Lover documentary, the Taylor Swift documentary. I think it's on Netflix. That was really good. So maybe check that out. There might be messages in there for you as well as these 3 songs. With that being said, I'm gonna peace, but I am extending to you all of my love, light, and good vibes, and I will hopefully see you in the next pick a card reading. All right, toodles! All right, guys. For those of you who chose the Folklore album, this is going to be a reading. So I've got all the songs in here, so we're just going to pick 3. You can choose to listen to this whole reading, or you can skip to the song that resonates with yourself most. I encourage you to stay for the whole thing just because there's also songs. Like, I think the whole reading ties together usually. 1, 2... 3. She didn't want to come. All right. We have My Tears Ricochet. This album might be my favorite album, honestly. Mirror Ball. Sorry, I just love that one too. And we have illicit affairs. Oh my gosh. All of these. I was actually getting ready for my first date with my Marty man, who I'm still together with like 2.5 years later. But I was listening to this song, and I was hoping that it wasn't going to be an affair. I was hoping that it was going to be like someone who is genuine and sweet. Okay, so let's see my tears ricochet. Can you give me a card to clarify my tears ricochet from the Folklore album? Two of Swords. This might be a relationship that we have the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck, so it could even be like a marriage, or a relationship with a mentor who has meant something to you. This could even be a relationship between your inner child and your future self or your higher self. And maybe you've been through the ringer. That doesn't make you any less strong. Perhaps you're considering leaving a certain situation because it just hasn't been treating you right, whether this be a job, whether this be a relationship, whether this be a career choice. And it's almost like this emotional avoidance here with the blindfold, that she doesn't want to look and see what her intuition is telling her to do. And if only she could open her eyes and recognize the autonomy of choice, even if it means perhaps hurting emotions. Like right now, I feel like there's an emphasis on not wanting to hurt someone else's feelings over protecting your energy. And your spirit guides are asking you to like do the opposite. Put yourself first for once, okay? Because I think you put yourself last more often than you would like to admit. Let's clarify here. Now we have the Four of Cups. A desire for a change that should be carefully considered. Indecision about a new venture. So we have mental uncertainty and emotional uncertainty. And maybe we've been in this situation for a long time, and so it feels like we owe it to this person or we owe it to this project to finish it through, even though we don't really have the passion or the drive to, or the desire to even continue to keep going, okay? Listen to your heart space. Listen to your intuition. This is the moon in Cancer. I believe this is the moon in Libra. So you might have either one of those placements, or someone significant might. This could also be talking about a relationship with your mother, or that like maybe you've had to step away from due to her not being able to recognize emotional neglect. The universe might also try to be, like, they might be trying to send you signs. So it's important to pay attention to your surroundings, even if you don't necessarily want to. Let's clarify Mirror Ball. The Two of Swords and the Four of Cups is also trying to get you out of your comfort zone. For Mirror Ball, we have Page of Pentacles. I'm going to take this in reverse. Maybe we're not wanting to draw attention to ourselves. Let me see really quick what I should know the lyrics by now, but you know, sometimes you just need a refresher. Essentially, I think this song is emphasizing the need to shine your light for you, not to make yourself this disco ball for someone else to look at and gaze at. Like, I'm not saying don't shine a light for others, but also don't hold a candle towards a persona that doesn't really vibe with your energy anymore. When no one is around, my dear, you'll find me on my tallest tiptoes, spinning in my highest heels, love shining just for you. Hush. I know they said the end is near, but I'm still on my tallest tiptoes, spinning in my highest heels, love shining just for you. I want you to know I'm a mirror ball. I can change everything about me to fit in. You're not like the regulars, the masquerade revelers, drunk as they watch my shattered edges glisten. Yeah, trying to be someone you're not, or trying to study something that you don't genuinely want to study. This might also be an insecurity about some aspect about your appearance. And so developing this unconditional love for yourself that naturally comes from your being to others is something that your spirit guides want you to develop. Guys, we have Judgment. Look at, she's on her tiptoes. There might be a desire for you to pursue something that you always wanted to be as a child. And I think your spirit guides are essentially telling you, hey, it's not too late. Vera Wang didn't do her first wedding dress until she was in her 40s, or when she was 40. There's a time for everyone to blossom, and we can't rush it, even though that's what society tells us, that you have to be this age and then you have to have this many accomplishments. It doesn't work like that anymore. And the more power that you give, the more pressure that you put on yourself, the more unhappy you're likely to be. If you can hear that also, not the squeaky chair, but it's like freezing rain outside, so I apologize. We have to clarify a lot of cards. We have the Three of Swords in reverse, great disillusionment, disorder, and confusion. We have Knight of Cups in reverse, possible fraud or trickery in connection with a proposition or an offer. Be sure to read the fine print, because something might look prettier than it actually is, or they might be promising more than what actually is in the contract. Because job descriptions tend to do that. The Six of Pentacles in reverse. Business rivals will use unfair methods. Envy may cause gossip and slander. I would say if someone has what it is that you want, whether it's the dream job, it's the dream relationship, it's the dream appearance, see that as driftwood, okay? Know that if it's possible for them, it's possible for you. And recognize, be real with yourself. Are you giving your 100% to whatever it is that you desire the most? Are you being conscious about it? Are you giving it a lot of effort? Are you tapping into your spiritual side? Because sometimes that can also help bolster our faith. And I'm not saying that it's just, again, putting it on a vision board. I think I was talking about this in the other one. But that's a first step to making your dreams visible. And seeing it every day has the subconscious, has an effect on your subconscious. The more you see it, the more you're yes, that's what I want. And maybe there was a time, with this Page of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles is typically seen as a student. And so maybe you had to walk away from school. That doesn't mean you can't return, okay? Just because it didn't work out the first time doesn't mean that you are doomed to do something you don't want to do. Life is all about taking chances. And it's what you do with that opportunity that ultimately matters. It's okay to change your mind. We also have the King of Wands in reverse. A quarrelsome individual, pompous and stubborn, a severe taskmaster. You might have a lot of expectation on yourself, and then you get down when you don't get as much as you want done. Again, be gentle with yourself. Rome was not built in a day. I suggest having two different lists. One might be a list of tasks that you can complete ideally. The other is like the task list B is, okay, what if I'm feeling burnt out, or what if I'm feeling a little bit more tired than usual? Because that way you're giving yourself a second option for maybe when things are not going your way and you want something, like you still want to get stuff done, but you don't think that you have the energy, which is okay. I think a lot of the times we talk poorly about ourselves, and we bring ourselves down, which again doesn't necessarily help the situation. Let's see illicit affairs. Wow. Okay, we got the Four of Cups in reverse again. Having the expectation that something isn't going to work out for you, and then when you fulfill that, it's sort of like a selective confirmation. I think that you want a lot more than what life is offering to you right now. You just might not necessarily know what that is. But I'm going to challenge that and say that you do know what you want. Even if you're saying, I don't know what I want anymore, you know what you don't want. Okay? And so maybe using that as a springboard to see what it is that you do truly desire, it might be worth it. We also have the Three of Pentacles on the back of the deck, in addition to the Eight of Cups. So maybe this is walking away from a job that served you in the moment but is causing you a lot more pain than you would like. Or maybe this is a relationship that once brought you a lot of joy and happiness but now is been chronically exhausting. Let's see. Can you clarify the Four of Cups in reverse, please? Can you clarify the Four of Cups in reverse? We have favorable Saturn, lucky number 3, denotes love and sympathy, affection, and good wishes. Saturn is actually leaving. At the time I'm filming this is a timeless reading, but Saturn enters Pisces on March 7th. And it is said that before Saturn enters a new sign, it leaves a gift behind to reward you for all of your efforts. And so maybe opening up to someone, maybe sharing your feelings with someone in your community or someone in your family or friend circle might help you, because Saturn was in Aquarius and that kind of challenges that community aspect. On the back of the card, we have Nine of Wands, which is the heart of perseverance. A long illness will be overcome. Hidden strength will sustain against any opposition. You have the strength to continue, and I have a feeling that you've been through a lot worse. So this is changing your mindset, okay? Harnessing that willpower to continue forward. And if something, again, if it wasn't meant to be, it's not meant to be. I'm going to do something a little bit different with this this pile. I'm going to get a love message, a career message, and a money message, just to kind of see where we're at. Calling in your soulmate, your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations are going to help bring you together. So again, putting in that conscious effort. We also have religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. And if you don't think that someone will honor that, then you haven't been with the right person. Okay, and you have every right to acknowledge and advocate for your beliefs in a relationship. We also have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. This Four of Cups here is like all about holding on to grudges of the past and being like, well, it didn't work out this time, or this isn't in my alley, like, why bother trying? Even though it's something that you genuinely want to do. And like we also have on the back of the deck, express your love. Make your love known to this person. If they don't know, or if you don't act on your impulses, like, you might never know if it was meant to be or not. Can I get a career message for this group? Can I get a career message for this group to ease anxiety and to provide some clarity? We have builder. Your innate ability to build and create brings you a deep sense of accomplishment. This is like building a YouTube channel or building a presence on social media, building your own company on Etsy. Yes, it's going to take time to sort of get your name out there and to work with the algorithm. And you might be frustrated because, yeah, it sucks when you post videos and they don't get any views. But just know that each video is one step closer to getting you towards that recognition that you are craving. Okay, building a brand takes time. It is not an overnight success. We also have counseling. You heal with kind words, wise advice, and an empathic ear. Consider possibly going to a career counselor, or maybe you had gone to school to be a counselor and it didn't work out, and now you're like sitting on your hands wondering what it is that you want to do with your life, even though, what if you still want to be a counselor? That's okay. There's so many programs, both virtual and face-to-face, that you can find in your community, in your area, and make a plan of action to get there if that's something that you want. We do have strength on the bottom of the deck. Everything you've experienced in your life has made you strong and courageous. There is a time for you to shine, and that time is slowly approaching. Take advantage of the circumstances and take action, okay? You are a lot stronger than you think you are. Your spirit guides want me to give you that reminder. But also work on it with your partner if you feel called to. Like, you don't have to do this by yourself. You have friends, you have loved ones in your corner, I'm sure. We have deservingness. You are a beloved child of God like everyone else, and you deserve to receive the support that will allow you to focus upon your divine life purpose. Even if you can't yet recognize your lovable qualities, trust that God and your angels can see how amazing you truly are. Exactly. I don't think that you necessarily give yourself enough credit all of the time. We also have organize for success. Do not let the word organize intimidate you, as it is simply a way for you to ensure clarity of purpose. Organizing your thoughts, your reports, your living and workspace, and your finances will help you know and plan the next action steps. Maybe this means creating a savings plan with or without your partner. But maybe you might be feeling left out in the dark about something. And if so, you need to talk about it. Okay? It warrants a conversation. Especially if you're married and your partner is keeping things from you, that is a red flag. And that is something that maybe you talk about in relationship counseling, or maybe you bring up your partner's unemployment or changing career path in counseling. Maybe it's something, but you're wanting a second opinion because you might feel guilty about bringing this up. You might feel like you're doing something wrong. Maybe it's because you're being told that you're doing something wrong. But if you're coming from a genuinely good place, be sure that your words reflect that, okay? Because yelling, as much as, it might feel cathartic to express it emotionally, it's not going to do you any favors when it comes to advocating for yourself and your needs within the relationship. And if your partner is yelling, then maybe that's a sign too that you might need that mediatorship. So I drew some tiles. We're going to see what we spell, or if maybe any letters come up. We do have doctor, so maybe you're seeing a doctor, or you are going to school to become one. So congratulations. We have L. Ooh. L's happen. If you don't know what an L is, it's a loss, I guess. But it's how you recover from that loss that shows how strong you really are. We have T, EU, D, E, and again, O, and Q. Quote, you might be quoted, or surrounding yourself with positive quotes and affirmations might be a way to give back to yourself. We have Q. I mean, I don't think we have enough. I think there needs another U in there. But if you need to go, let's say getting something with your driver's license, or like getting your plates renewed or something, do that earlier so that you don't maybe have to wait as long. We have doe, a female deer. Maybe you see a deer in the park. We have toe. Pisces rules the feet, so just be careful. Some of you might stub your toe. I know that's like a very, very random message, but I'll take it. If you recognize any of these as initials, or if you see any words that I am not seeing, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Told, like I told you so, which it doesn't necessarily help the situation if someone is acting like that, but maybe that's your intuition telling you, hey, like, listen to me the first time when I say something. Okay. I'm going to end this reading with some secret garden messages. Let's see, any last messages from your spirit guides? Self-care. Tend to your garden. Yes. You are learning how to give back to yourself, my love. We have rest. Slow down. You don't have to solve everything today. Isn't that what we were just talking about? We have adapt. You will get yourself where you want to be. I love this. I love this. I love this. And at the bottom of the deck, we have dare. Take a risk and fly. My camera cut me out. But that is all I have for you, my loves. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know if it resonated down below, and I will hopefully see you in the next reading. Thank you so much. Toodles!